What's going on here? Little quick on the trigger finger there, bro. Little quick on the trigger finger, bro.
Is that the reason why?
Yeah, yeah. I was like getting too excited. I haven't seen you for a couple of days. I get excited when I see you, man.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I gotta check something real quick. I wasn't able to for some reason the Twitter feed. Um, not sure why, but anyway, I know we got us on YouTube, and so we are all good, bro. We are all good.
Well,
How
let's make
you?
sure.
How was your day? Aloha. I'm actually wearing an aloha shirt again, man. Actually
Yeah, that's
wearing my
nice.
aloha shirt.
Well, today is a beautiful Aloha Friday, everyone. Welcome to Mel and Charlie Facebook Live. We are coming via Restream, uploaded to Facebook and to all the other media platforms. Hoping you folks are having a great Friday and to a start of a beautiful weekend. So, you know,
Yeah.
real quickly, folks who are coming on, let us know where you're from. We like to say aloha to you and to all the family in your neighborhoods, welcoming all of you here. So let us know where you're from.
We'll share the chat while we get everybody coming in tonight. Very special show.
Actually,
Konishki.
if you look how it's pronounced, right, spelt and pronounced, it's actually Konishiki.
Yeah, growing up, that's what we called it, and then
I don't know whether
but
Konishki
that's
because
the
it's just like
Japanese. That's the Japanese proper way of pronouncing it.
oh, it's I before N, but it's silent after the K, before the K, or something like that. I
Something
mean,
like that. Something like that.
I don't know.
There we go. We got Lawai. We got Kona. Yeah, Waimea Valley, Smoky Valley, in the
Yeah,
house.
right on,
Yeah,
right.
I watch professional wrestling, and there's this Japanese wrestler Asuka, a female, but it's pronounced Asuka.
But do you
Asuka.
know what's the difference between the sumo wrestling and the kind of wrestling you watch?
Well, mine is real. My wrestling, professional wrestling, is real. Um, Wilo Homestead, Oahu, Koloa, Port Allen on the west side.
Prescott, Arizona,
Oh,
Aloha,
we got Arizona.
Kapahi, Kapahi, Hanapipi Heights, right on.
Boom.
Pauelo, Big Island.
Big Island in the house. All right.
Yeah,
Lihui.
aloha no, everybody. Ahi ahi,
Kilauea.
Kilauea, yes. Honani. It's
Pukalani. Wait, that volcano blowing up on the Big Island
oh
is
yeah.
really it's gorgeous, man. It is beautiful.
I like to
Beautiful.
say to all of our residents, local residents, we take Mother Nature for granted sometimes, but we on the outer islands, away from the Big Island, I should say. But just to see it, when someone puts it up, they get a drone flying over it, and just to see the grandeur of that beautiful volcano. I mean, how much more special can it be? You know what I mean? We're lucky. We're lucky we live Hawaii. We live
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Lahaina.
Kailua Kona, Lawai, Palolo Valley, Kekaha, Ayam.
Wow,
Ayam.
Lahaina.
I'm
Yeah.
hoping I'm hoping we'll get a lot of viewers tonight from Japan.
Yeah.
Konishki is a rock star in Japan. I don't know, Charlie. I know you're working, but I teased everybody at about 5:30 or so. I put on a YouTube video of Konishki entertaining in Japan, and
Hmm.
a lot of the comments were, "Wow, I didn't know he can sing. He can sing."
Yes.
It was fab. This guy is amazing. He is such an amazing guy.
Yeah.
People starting already with the sumo names, Charlie.
Yeah. It's because
Uh,
if you don't see me smiling, it's because I'm not smiling.
So we're gonna let Konishki. He was the first non-Japanese, and I'm reading his bio over here that I pulled off of the internet, and I'll read it when he comes on. But when we do the introduction,
He
but
was
he
a
was the
non.
first non-Japanese born wrestler to reach Ozeki, which is the number two rank in sumo.
Hmm.
Unbelievable. This guy got into sumo at the age of 18, and I'm just excited. I have not never spoken to him. We have been chatting and texting and so forth the last few days, but
I believe he was
uh,
also a high school superstar, football player,
yeah.
university guy. I guess they're part of that Pac Five, that
Oh,
regiment
really?
of schools. Yeah, he graduated in 1982. He started his sumo career in 1982, attained the rank of Ozeki 5 years later. I mean, sheesh, this guy. And he was at his peak weight and be able to move as nimble as he was at 633 pounds. Woohoo! That is on steamroller, let me tell you. That is a steamroller.
Yeah. He was I was watching some of the videos on YouTube today. Oof.
Mhm.
Whoa.
Hey,
Um,
can I send a shout out to some family and friends on the island of Maui? My condolences goes out to um, the Koa family in the loss of. He was a good brother. Some of you may remember him. Whenever you saw Kili'i Shell playing in concerts, and he was the guitar player right next to Kili'i. He always had a headband on with glasses, big, big stature Hawaiian. His name's Ayao Koa, and
yeah.
he passed away. And I send ton loads of condolences. When I first moved to Maui, got on the Maui Police Department, he started to work at the harbor police, and we had a lot of great times. And he was an excellent martial artist in Kajikempo, and a lot
Mm,
of the guys took from him. And he also had his own executive, like executive protection squad, as they would call it, and it was just unbelievable. When I got the news, I was just devastated because the last time I saw him on Kauai is when Kili'i came up to do the concert that Lena Alapavao
mm.
Jardine hosts at the convention hall, and
Oh, that's
one of
right.
the main. He was one of the. He came up with Moses Kane and the rest of Alan Villarreal. All of them, they came up, and that was the last time I saw him. So my heartfelt condolences to all of his family on the island of Maui.
Yeah, thank you, Charlie. Yeah, I ran into Lena Ala Kumu Hula, Lena Ala Jardine this morning at the coffee shop, and she told me the bad news. Oh, it's so sad. So sad.
Yeah,
Um,
young, too young.
yeah, I tell you, man. You know, as you get older,
Hmm.
you start knowing more people. You know, you're younger and you look at the obituaries and you don't know anybody in there. And then as you get older, you
Yeah.
start, realizing that, oh, 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 he's here.
Ooh.
I'm almost afraid to push the button.
Push the button.
Push the button. Okay, let's push the button. Push the button.
There he is.
Boom.
Aloha.
Boom. Aloha. Konishki.
What's up?
The first question I like you figure out who is Uncle Charlie and who is Mel, not Uncle Mel. Which one is Uncle Charlie Iona and which is Mel Raposo?
They're both not on the screen right now.
Sir, I
The
cannot
the
even.
the Portuguese is on the left and the Hawaiian is on the right on my screen. I don't know if the
There you
Portuguese
go.
screen, maybe the Portuguese on the top and the Hawaiian on the bottom. I don't know.
um, I don't even know how to tell you how honored we are to have you on our show. I honestly, I'm starstruck. I guess is a good way to put it. You know, oftentimes we don't get many celebrities.
Nah,
We
I'm
get
not
a
a
lot of,
celeb, bro.
bro.
You never, you
I
never hear Shaquille O'Neal say, I don't like being a celebrity already, and that's exactly what I am. A freaking Nanakuli boy who just happened to be in Japan doing
Uh-huh.
what I have to do to survive, and that's all it is. Don't want to be a
Well,
celebrity, don't want to be a star, I just want to be Saleva'a Atisano'e and a kid who in class to get into sumo. That's all I want to be.
Wow.
wow. Well, we're gonna ask you to share your story, but as I was doing the research, I had a I think everybody knew that you were an entertainer up in Japan, but I didn't realize how big of an entertainer that you are. And I did play a little teaser video, one of your YouTube. You actually the song "Kokee," which is from Kauai, and we surprised a lot of our viewers that didn't know that you could sing, and so I just
Like
did
they
that
say,
teaser.
dynamite come in small packages.
So I got this right off of the internet. I did want to give you a real quick introduction for those that may not know who Saleva'a Atisano'e is, but first non-Jap Nanakuli born
Yes,
Nanakuli,
sir.
first non-Japanese born wrestler to reach Ozeki, which is the second highest rank in sumo. He won the top division championship on 3 occasions, came close to becoming the first foreign-born grand champion or yokozuna, prompting a debate as to whether a foreigner could have the necessary cultural understanding to be acceptable and blah blah blah. I watched the videos, brother. You adapted quite well to the Japanese culture.
But like they said, you want to be vaccinated or you don't want to be vaccinated. You gotta learn how to accept both.
Yeah,
Just that
exactly.
at the time being, was very hard because I was the first one hitting the wall. So
Yeah,
it's all good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Peak weight 633 pounds.
Even
I watched
heavier
the.
than that, bro. I got heavier than that. Just
Oh, really?
yeah,
I
bro.
uh I was watching some of the your sumo clips on YouTube. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Earning the nicknames of the meat bomb and the dump truck.
This all came from the England because England used to actually telecast the sumo tournament. They had rights to telecast only the January tournaments every year. So when I went to England in London to do the Albert Hall, they already had nicknames for all the sumo wrestlers. They had the Shout Shaker, they had the Paula Bear, they had all kinds of names. They had me dump truck at the time.
Started Entered sumo in July of 1982 at the age of 18. That's pretty interesting because I graduated in 1982. That would make you and I about the same age.
Yeah, I'm
What when
probably
did
a year older. I'm 63. I'm gonna be
oh,
58.
okay, good. Yeah, I'm 64 born, so you 1 year older. So
Yeah.
I'm going to stop there. I'm not going to because I really we don't have much time, and I want to cover kind of share your story
Tell
about
them go to
Nanakuli.
Wikipedia. They all have those little things about me. Every time I do interviews, I tell, don't try to explain who I am. Just tell them go to Wikipedia.
Yeah, yeah, that's where I got that from. But you also have an amazing website. You also have a product line. You got a lot of stuff. We want to cover as much as we can. So let's start Nanakuli high school. What got you to sumo? And let's just start there if you don't
He
mind.
went to University High. He
Yeah,
went
the
to
lab school.
University High, the lab school.
Well, in
Uh,
1979, me and my brother decided to transfer out of a bunch of us, the Napoleons, the Philangainas, we're all from Nanakuli area. And Jeff Rasmussen was my other classmate who's the musician, Analu Aina. But we all came from the Waianae side and we went to the University Lab School for 4 years. So my introduction to sumo was zero. I knew nothing about sumo. And so when I joined sumo, I just went with no knowledge of sumo. All I knew is I didn't know who Jesse was at the time, but we all know the famous Curtis the Booyah, the king.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Curtis was the one that saw me at the beach when I was cutting class. I went to body surf and boogie board at Waikiki in high school towards the last month of my graduating year, and that's when Curtis pulled me on the side and said, "Hey, young man, you number 79 if you play for Pac 5, you out there?" I thought, yeah. Yeah, uncle, number 79 for Pac 5. I think you should join sumo, he tell me. I tell him, uncle, what is that sumo? I don't know what is that. Then he kept me around While everybody was catching waves, I'm the only guy sitting on a wall down Waikiki Alamona, the beach wall, the beach at the beach, talking to him. He told me, "Oh, you gotta go to be this, you can be that, you can be that," and I couldn't get away from him. So we were actually leaving school 3 days in a row. We didn't go. We didn't even go class. We just went to school, jumped in my car, and went to the beach. So the 3 days, he kind of convinced me to join sumo. That's where my introduction to sumo came. And then from the day I met him in May, around May the 10th, around the 15th, around that time. A month later, I came to Japan. So it's June 18. I left Japan. I left for Japan.
Wow. Okay. You gotta unmute, Mel. You gotta unmute.
Mel, bro, what school you in?
Mel,
Mel, you gotta unmute yourself, bro.
Jeez, in a Portuguese, normally no need have to ask me to unmute, but tonight I told you, starstruck,
Well, that's
starstruck.
why, bro. That's why they make the mute for all the Portuguese, so we can mute you.
I, sup- Tita Kamaka said, "Hi, Uncle Sale Atisano'e,"
How's it? How's it?
and
Lanny
then Jamie
family.
Jamie is asking, ask him if it's true that he got discovered while ditching school. Well, we just heard that part, and they ran into Jesse.
I met Jesse when I was in high school because I was performing in Waikiki. I was one. We was doing the fundraiser, and I was one of the dancers during Waikiki. I think it was Ilika, one of the hotels. But I didn't know that was Jesse because I saw him outside. But I met Jesse right before I went to Japan because he the one that came to to Hawaii. I think around early June, and that's when I first saw him. And he explained to me about sumo. He told, it's gonna be easy, but if you make it, you really can actually protect your family and help them out and stuff like that. So, as long as you can tell me I'm gonna fly free, I ain't gonna bother my parents. As long as you tell me I go free, I'm going, and that's what I did. When he told me it was all free, the tickets all free. I told him where I can leave somewhere. Okay, you leave at the stable. What about the eating and stuff? Everything is free. You just gonna live in the stable, but so that's all cool. As long as I had to put no burden on my parents, I'm gone. That and from that conversation, I left. I told my parents a week before I was leaving for Japan, and I left.
Wow.
Solid. Let me ask you something. And a lot of times, for myself, growing up, I went to Palama Gakuen, right on Vineyard, Japanese school for 7 years. I thought I was
Mm,
going to go learn a language because my
mm.
mom sent me there, but came to find out that was the cheapest babysitting service from kindergarten to sixth grade because it was only $5 a month.
Wow.
How did you learn the language? I know some people find it difficult, but your first year in Japan, how was it? How was
Well,
it?
the good thing about me, I was thrown in an environment where I only have to listen. In the sumo industry or the sumo life, when you're thrown into sumo, you begin on the bottom, so you're the one have to do all the chores and you got to take orders from the seniority. So anybody who joined before you, you have to take orders. So the listening came really fast. I think being 18 was easier for me, and then being in a situation when I had to learn, no matter what situation was, 'cause nobody was interpreting for me. There's no translation in everything I did, so listening came real fast, and I kind of pick up all the easy stuff as I went on. And I bought me a little tourist book that everything was written in alphabets, so I could read it like A B C D ha he would. It's kind of the symbols are like Hawaiian and Samoan when you read them.
Hmm.
A I U E O kakiku ke ko. It's like the Hawaiian language when you read it in English, easier for read. So that's where my language came from. And then because I love to sing, I started going to karaoke. I started watching all these Japanese TV shows. I started learning Japanese songs just by listening. And that's where my language got even better because I would go to karaoke. All the Japanese thing, I was super smart because I could sing the song. I was looking at the TV. I wasn't reading it. I remembered all the words already. But I made like I was reading the kanji and everything. Less than a year, I was singing Japanese songs. And I guess that's what helped me pick up on the language too because of learning
Hmm.
Japanese music while I was just at the beginning of my career.
So actually, so when you're speaking the language now, is there a format? Because I know sometimes certain words go in the back, and then you switch it up, and then you say something, and yet if you were to translate it, it kind of doesn't go into like a fluid style, right?
Yeah, if you're trying to translate Japanese into English, it's super hard. And
Mm.
then I came from Nanakuli where Napoleons, they all talk backwards anyway, my friends. Hey, bro, someone like, so I kind of had that thing in my head already. Bro, someone like, you go my home, go my house, you go eat the kind, bro. So that language kind of helped with the vocabulary, how you place all the words and stuff. But basically, I just learned word by word, slowly, pick up a word a day, and just and like I said, I was in a situation where I only have to listen, take orders and stuff like that. The
Mm.
sumo world, you have to take orders, and then by rank, you become over your seniorities. You have to beat the senior by beating them out of rank. So I was,
No.
I was very, very lucky or very good in what I did because after 8 months, I was in the top rank. So I had guys who've been doing sumo 10 years, and I still hold a record for the fastest to come from ground zero to high rank, which is 8 tournaments. And there's another record I'm really proud of. It's 14 tournaments. I became a junior champion, never done in the whole history of sumo. Become junior champion 14 tournaments. So that's only 2 years and one tournament
Wow.
altogether. So I guess my focus was to hurry up and get better so I can get paid as a high ranking wrestler, which is you have to get into that top rank. There's only 60 of us that really get paid out of sumo. So my goal was just to get there. Once I got there, I had more time to myself because I became a top rank where I have people help me do things now. And as long as I put in my time and train, and that's everything else is like PR. I do PR for the stable or whatever it is, but I have more time to learn, more time to hang out with people that I meet and friends, and picking up the language, just being out and talking and listening and stuff. So never
Mm.
really had a teacher to sit down and teach me my language. I just pick it up. Mm.
Wow.
The 18 years old, you're in a foreign country, don't even know the language. You're in a stable. I've seen a couple of documentaries over the years where the new guys like yourself, the rookies, you guys got to do a whole bunch of things that are not pleasant. You cannot really speak. Like you said, you only can listen. You have this cultural barrier. I'm assuming that there were some animosity, or this non-Japanese born rookie from Hawaii is here, and then they start watching you climb the ranks relatively quickly. How was that? And what made you stay? Obviously, you're very talented, but it had to have been tough for you. It had to have been difficult.
Well, be honest with you, and during my whole career, it never crossed my mind when it was tough. And this is something that I always speak to kids, anybody I speak to about. It's my choice. I went against my parents coming to Japan. I never sat down and talked to them about my decision to come to Japan. Everything was on me, and I understood the decision I made was mine. And no matter what came to me, I put myself in hot water where I never can leave now because now if I walk away from it, I just disappointed a, a decision I made, and I went against my parents with something that I would never like to do, but I had to do because I knew the situation of the family. But to me, the challenges that I took from the beginning was never tough for me, and because for one reason, I knew where I wanted to go. I knew exactly what I needed to do to get where I was supposed to go, where I was supposed to go to make money so I can send my parents monthly money so I can help my family out. So I knew where I wanted to go. The life itself is tough, but that's part of what the rail that I had to walk on. It's part of the process. The process was what it is, and there's nothing I could change it. So for me, my dad always told me just shut up and work, just do the work, and don't worry about anything else. Which is what's where all my focus and all my energy went. Before I told myself, bro, if they treat me like you said, I got hit by beer bottles. I was cleaning like we live in a four-story building in Tokyo, and my job as a young boy who just joined at 18, 3:30 in the morning, I'm on my knees wiping all the floors, the stairways, four stairways. Made sure I took all the garbage out in the morning. Made sure I all wiped it, everything down. Went into the toilet room, the bathroom, which we had three. I had to go all clean it up, mop it down, clean it all up before I went to sumo school, which was a 6 month span. And I did that for 6 months. And I made sure I was the best at doing all that stuff too. And the
Mm.
biggest award was when my mother, our Okami-san, the boss's wife, will always tell me, "Man, you one of the kids that I never saw a kid that came in so big, and you go under the sinks and you wipe everything down." And that thing made me proud of what I did. And to me, if you gotta put in 100%, you gotta put 100% not only in the ring but in what you do in life during after the practices and stuff. Because I had to go wash clothes. I made sure I washed my senior guys' clothes really clean. I made sure I always fold them nice. Where I put them by the thongs. I try to do everything as perfect as I can because I wanted to be awarded by them telling me, "Well, you did a good job," and I knew as long as I can do my job. And then the way I got back to guys who treated me like an a-hole, they got beat up, because my focus was, I'm going to kill you tomorrow at practice. And that's what made me so hot up about going to practice every single day. My first 2 years, I tell you, I hardly slept, man. Practice was 5 o'clock. I was up like 3:30, 4 o'clock every morning training before anybody came. I wanted to kill people every day. And then I always told myself, as long as I kill them legally in a practice, it's legal. So maybe I kill somebody today, and that's the thing that motivated me every day. And yeah, I just saw the long picture of what I can do for my family if I suck it up and do everything right and try to do the best I can in everything I do. So I never looked at it as a struggle. Even now, all the things I do, I'm very humbled with the opportunities I have because of what I've committed myself to do during a young age. And I'm actually writing a book right now. So I started last year, trying to find out what this 18-year-old kid from Nanakuli, what made me do the things I do. Right? It's only now I'm trying to figure out what made my mind and what made me strong enough to overcome all this stuff because it ain't normal. Number one, it's not America. Number two, you're in a different country where the culture is completely different. And you really gotta open up. And my dad always tell me when you go to Japan, try to be as Japanese as you can, which is true. You cannot come into a country and try to, oh, bro, we don't do it like that, bro. We do it like this. You cannot bring that stuff here. You're either gonna jump into the fire with everybody, or you going to burn, or you're going to drown, trying to run from the fire. So I'm
Yeah.
very I'm very lucky to I'm very thankful my parents, you know, um, brought me up the way I am.
How
Oof.
is your How is your personal life now? If you don't mind me asking, I understand you're married. Are you
I've
married?
been married. This is my second marriage. I've been married almost 20 years now with my second wife. And the
Right.
videos you see, the lady who's singing with me is my wife. And a
Mm.
lot of Hawaiian entertainers have met her.
You guys make a hell of a couple.
Yeah.
Hell of a couple. I only obviously only saw her on the stage, but
We lost his volume.
uh oh,
Oh.
hey, uh oh,
Yeah.
hey.
Uh, Konishki, you can come back. You can unmute your video.
I think his Wi-Fi. Just I'm showing his Wi-Fi at 0, but I'm sure he'll reconnect. What an inspirational dude,
Yeah.
bruh. You saw the stories, yeah, of these young guys in a stable got to go around and clean
Mm.
the older guys, and but what he said was so interesting. It wasn't a struggle because he really wanted to be the best, and he wasn't gonna disappoint anybody, and he was gonna do whatever it took.
Hmm.
Somebody just posted, this guy got to talk to, we got to let our kids listen to this guy, and I'm hoping. Okay, here he's coming back. He's coming back.
You guys got me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And we can hear you.
cannot see you though.
Yeah. The video. I think your video might be muted. Oh. Okay. There, we got the K.
Are you there, bro? Oh, ay, ay, ay. Okay, I think he
Yeah, you
just
gonna try.
disconnected. He will reconnect. You know what I really want to ask him is how do you train for sumo? Is there a strategy? Is there, I always saw two big gargantuans just run full speed at each other and try to tackle them, but there's got to be techniques and
Oh yeah. If you look at,
yeah.
there's one I used to watch.
I'm
Yeah. There
sorry I
you.
got cut off.
No,
Yeah,
you there now.
I there was a drop in the Wi-Fi, but that's well, we got you full strength now, my friend. We got you full
Yeah,
Okay.
got
strength.
you.
So,
We were just talking about the tactical aspects of the sport of sumo. You know, that long time ago, growing up, everything was Taiho, Taiho. He was one of the greatest.
You're
And
right.
then you got Chiono Fuji, and he was a bit, but he
Was
was one of those.
Chono Fuji and Kitanomi's era when I joined.
whoa.
Okay, because I remember seeing Chiono Fuji where he didn't look like your average sumo because he was real lean and he had that
He was
big
290
track.
pounds, solid muscle,
Yep.
flexible as hell, fast as hell. And I was when I used to do interviews for foreign press people, they always tell me, who do you compare him to? I always say he's the Michael Jordan of sumo. He didn't have
Mm,
to see
Wow.
what he's attacking at a time. You know, Michael Jordan faces his back to the basket and just throws the balls up and the balls goes in.
yeah.
That's how good he was. And his technique was his left arm. When he digs into the front torso, when he goes for the front torso and gets to your belt from the front with his left arm, it's over. But when I started, because I was so strong, I figured out the way he. The funny thing, he came and trained with me after I beat him. That's how pissed off he was. He came and threw me around in practice after I beat him my first time, and I knew where he came from. My boss told me, you have to watch because if he gets to your left, if he gets his left into your right side, it's over. So if you see a match that I wrestled with, my first match, I beat him. That's only 2 years into sumo now. I on my right hand, all I do is push with my left to keep his shoulder away, and his right shoulder away. But I know he's trying to stick in his left arm, and all it is pop his shoulder. Everything you see is his shoulder and his face. I'm hitting, and he took me like 3 4 hits, and I beat him. Ever since that day, he came practice with me. He made the unnormal move that none of yokozunas do. We would go and train with a yokozuna, but a yokozuna would never go out from his stable and train with other people. He came and trained with me every damn freaking tournament, and I hated it because after I bust my ass with training with all the other guys, he would call me out. I would get him a few, but after that, he would throw my ass all over the place, man. Like you think you get him, but you don't get him, brother. The guy get eyes behind his head. His technique is so fast, so quick. For somebody at 290 wrestling a 500-pound boy, he make you look light.
Yeah.
It's speed and technique.
I was wondering because for us, my grandma guys, they love sumo. They would go channel 13. Kiku was the channel here in Hawaii
Yeah,
that back in the day when we never have
Mm.
we had the kind of antennas. We never have cable.
exactly.
But they never missed it. And
You
as
gotta
very
explain what
young,
antenna is. All the young people don't know what is that. They
yeah, they
get
don't
cable.
know. They'll
Internet.
yeah, they don't know. They have no clue. But we would see two. I was just when you were offline. I was telling Charlie, you have two gargantuans, big men. And now Chiono Fuji was kind of an exception. He was 290, but for the most part, these guys were giants, and they would go huh, and they would just smash each other. What is the training? How do you train? I mean, I know you just explained some tactics that Chiono Fuji used with his arm, but what is a training day like?
A lot of stretching. A sumo every morning is training. The training consists the whole morning. So, like a stable like mine's, because we had like 40 something active sumo guys, sumo rikishi or sumo toris. We start like 4:30. The younger guys come in and all mornings practice till like maybe 12 o'clock. First meals is lunch, so we don't have breakfast. It's only lunch and dinner. And our training consists a lot of squatting, like squatting. I mean, squat, a lot of stretching. The flexibility you see in these sumo wrestlers, every single sumo wrestler can do the splits, and that's actually helps you prevent you from getting a lot of injuries. You got to imagine, sumo doesn't have a season. We're six major tournaments a year, which is takes 90 days of the year, and then after this tournament, we go on tour all over Japan, or sometimes we have gone abroad to Brazil and Paris and you name it. So it's strenuous to the body because of even when you get hurt, they don't put you on an injured list because you gotta fight it. You gotta fight injured with the injury, or you're going to lose rank. So it's mentally a tough situation to be in a top rank, because to keep the rank, you got to keep on winning majority of the matches you have per tournament, which is 15 tournament, a 15-day tournament, which is 15 matches. And the stretching, a lot of stretching, a lot of stretching. Everybody can do the splits. When I came, I thought, what the hell are we doing? The first time I did the splits is like only like less than 2 months into my career, where I went to sumo school, where all the newcomers go for 6 months. In a 6 month span, they go to sumo school. So I didn't know what they were doing. All they said is get on the floor, get on the ground like we on the marsh, and they're like pulling my legs apart like on the side, and I didn't know they were like 5, 6 guys on my back. All I knew is guys would pull my legs open, and like 3, 4 guys would jump on my back and would slam my face to the floor. Boom! I went down. I went, yeah! I went backwards. You rip everything in between, bro. You rip everything, but that's how you're supposed to do it. They tell you, bro. They rip everything, and then you walk like somebody's there between you the kind all week, bro. And you come to practice the next day, and they rip them again. It's repeatedly ripping, man. They're like, if that was in America, they'd probably take you to court already. Child abuse. And the funny thing is, I thought that was ends, but when I went home, my senpai guys, the guys my senior guys, would take me to the furo, the hot furo. Said this helps you. So we jump in the furo. At the furo, they will rip me open to make me do it. But that really helped me, because hot furo, it feels better than in the morning where you stay tight, where they just slam you to the ground from the back. They don't ask questions. They tell you are now, boom, and then you went backwards, boom. It's the pain. That's the most painful stuff I went through, man.
Wow.
Those matawaris, they call it matawaris, the splits, the sumo splits.
Now, in a career of let's let's say the levels you obtain in the industry, right? Because it is like the NFL for the culture,
Yes.
and to sustain that culture, and I know the tournaments. I mean, my dad and mom used to take me to the sumo tournaments in Hawaii. It was always at the Civic Auditorium. I
Yeah,
remember
yeah, yeah.
every single time. If you had to compare the dollar amount, what kind of salary does a up and coming sumo wrestler look forward to? What
We
is
don't
their
even
salary?
know. Be honest with you guys, though, everybody think we make a lot of money. We don't
Yeah,
even make that much compared to any sports. We're the lowest paid sport, because we're not looking at a sport, more like a culture.
yeah.
But the way we're treated here, we're treated way different. You can walk into a stadium with an event, and the sumo wrestlers be guided to their seats, but the superstar basketball player or celebrity, they would be like go sit in the backside. You know what I mean? We get
Hmm.
special treatment because of what we do, and it's a culture. And the thing is, it's so strict. The law, the rules that we have compared to basketball, NBA, the Western sport, so it's so strict. Like we carry the name of sumo, and because it's under the government's watch, you get out of hand, they kick you out, man. They don't even damn how good you are. I always tell this to all my friends that I have some NBA friends, and I tell, bro, you guys got it made. You can go beat up your girlfriend and you still come play basketball, or you can go gamble, you get caught, you fight in the street. You can get caught in Japan in a bar where there's a fight that has nothing to do with you, but you're in the bar and they're going to kick you out.
Wow.
Wow.
You carry the name, you carry the sport, which is the culture more than it's sport. That's why we don't get paid as much, but we get catered better than a lot of celebrities or in certain things.
Hmm.
So the pay might be not much, but it's the gifts that we get beyond that.
Hmm.
Because to be honest with you, I was making only when I was in Ozeki then until I retired. Ozeki was only getting paid less than 10 grand a month. We get monthly salary. That's why we no more contract. It's monthly, and they only get paid to what rank you are. Right now, they're making way more, which is obvious. They should. The Ozeki class probably make about 25 grand a month, but they have to keep the rank. Once you lose the rank, you lose that. You go down to Sekiwaki, you get Sekiwaki pay. You get Komosubi pay, and then you get Magnus Magashita pay, which is still a pretty good fee right now. They make almost 200, maybe 20 grand a month. But you got to keep the rank. you can get to see the thing that people don't understand. They think you in the top 60. Every time you lose a tournament, you drop out of the rank, you drop the pay too. So in the
Mm,
top 60, the bottom 30 guys, those guys they're getting paid like 100 something, like 15, 16,000 bucks. But once they leave a losing tournament, they drop all the way down to only $800, $800 a month now.
Wow.
And
oh,
that's not considered paid. It's just a fee, like a living fee. And they're not even allowed to live outside of state because they cannot afford it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
yeah.
So sumo is not really a westernized business sport. It's not even business at all. Period. You get what you if you don't like it, get out. Even if you don't like it, if you give them trouble, they just kick you out. No questions asked.
So it's
But
really
the
it,
culture, though. I mean, the pride of representing that country and a culture that goes back. I mean, how old is sumo? I mean, how old is
Sumo is
sumo?
hundreds and hundreds of years old. They
Yeah.
don't even
I
have
mean,
they,
it's
well sumo when sumo started out, it was done for entertainment for the gods or the big emperors during back in the days, and became actually a sport. What you see today actually became association less than 100 years so far. But
mm,
sumo itself was done way before, way back then in all the temples, and they were known as the best samurai fighters.
mm.
You know, so of course they weren't that big, like how they are now. What you see now is kind of created within the past 90 years or so, yeah.
Hmm.
But it's tough because every time you go out, I got in trouble early in my career with some dummies who tried to jump one of my sumo friends, and I just knocked the shit out of people in Roppongi, and I got caught when cops saw me do that, and I was so scared. I'm glad those days never have the phone yet. That's why nobody caught me on the phone. But I was taking in. I was taking by police. I was like, whoa, so scared. After work working so damn hard, only my second year, and I called my boss. On those days, my boss he had clout, man. He would stop, and even till this today, the media never found out I got into that trouble one time. But after that,
until tonight.
until tonight, after that, I played no way. I came really smart real fast because I didn't want to lose what I had, and I wasn't going to play with the rules they already had. Every time I go out, I see something sneak. I see guys that look normal. I would sneak out of the bar or sneak out of the club. I would go home. Never got in
Hmm.
trouble after that, man. And like to me, that's the good thing about this whole sport is, you're gonna lose that opportunity. But that's the thing. I think the Americans, the Western sport, I wish they had that because all some of these guys just taking advantage. They're getting paid billions and millions compared to us. We had pennies compared to all this. But they have to understand you represent something. That's why I think
Mhm.
the sport is just a sport. It's not a culture. Or they're not representing a way where people will be respect them out in the streets and stuff. And that's how come they're going. They can get in trouble. I thought you guys babies, man. You guys get in trouble. You guys grumble about this, grumble about that, and you're getting all this money, and you guys grumble about that. It's like, when does the people who support you get to support you and look up to you as and that's the thing I carry around. I take pride in. I don't only represent myself, but I represent the blood that the cocoa in my kino right now. And not only that, I come from Hawaii, which is a little island out there where we do have respect for culture and stuff like that. So every time I carry around, I'm not walking around like it's only me, man. I represent something when I walk around and the things I do. That's why I'm very careful with what I do and the way I do it, man. I don't want to waste all this hard work that I've done so far to get here. One bad thing and it's going to screw everything up. That's all they want. One media wants one bad thing about you, and it's all it. They can crush you with one bad mistake you do, and that's the situation I understand, and that's the situation that we all should understand. Anybody who's in the limelight in the celebrity status, whatever you call it, they gotta understand. We are lucky to be in a position. Not only lucky, but we're in a position where we get treated differently because of what we do. So the public need to have a little more than what we can give, or respect what we carry with us.
Let me ask you. Let's fast forward to today. I've seen several times you've been involved in some really good charitable, especially when you come back to Hawaii.
Mhm.
And I see how those some that are not so fortunate, you have your big estate on the west side on Oahu, and you know tell the people about because I'm just amazed that you find the time, you bring back, you come back to your roots and you find the time to take care of the people, whether they're well off or they're not well off. I always see
Well,
that, and
well, my
I'm
thing, I love Waianae so much, and growing up in Waianae, Coast Guano, the bad rap they will always get. We People get to talk about, the negative things about the Waianae area, but there's so much. The people are so humbled out there, Just that when you push the wrong button, these humble people they really turn like tigers,
hmm
And to me, I love the West Side so much. I started what we call the Konishki Kids Foundation towards the end of my sumo career. And what I did, I wanted to bring kids from the West Side, from the seven schools, and give them an experience here in Japan and see what one of their brothers or one of their uncles went through to get to where I'm at today, because Japan has given me an opportunity. Your opportunity don't have to be Japan. It can be Singapore, it can be in the US, it can be in China, wherever it is. I'm just wanted to let them see what I had to go through to just to be what I am. But giving back to the community is something I really I precious. I love to do. And the only reason why I built the house in Miley is to wanted people to see something that a kid from down the road who lived by Save More, or we used to call him by I live by Ayongi Homestead, the street I live on, in Holopono Street. That it's not really bad if you're coming from that side. It's not where you start, it's where you end up in life. And that house actually represents, I wanted them, everybody, I don't care about that damn house. I always tell the kids, bro, getting the house is the easiest thing I've done. But keeping the house is even more work. So, that's why when I talk to the kids, I tell, bro, you guys like get something, you can get them. But when you're getting something that costs that much, you gotta learn how to actually keep them too.
hmm
And why you always gonna be as consistent as you can when you're working. And I used to go to the schools to do career days with the kids, or when I had time when I was home at the time, I used to ask this question to all the kids when I used to talk to the Miley or Waianae. So what you guys think? All the Waianae people from Waianae side, when you go downtown, what you think they think about you guys? And all the kids go, well, they think we criminals. They think we drug dealers. So what you guys gonna do? The kids go, we kill them. Never change. I didn't. And that's the thing I see. No, 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 no. You don't kill them. You guys gotta take advantage of what you study, or if you find something you're good at, you gotta work at it. You only can get better. There's nobody perfect in any industry, but you always can get better in everything you do. But that's my heart, because I know these kids, they don't have much, but they can do it with whatever they have. I see how talented kids can draw, they can make things, they can sing, they can fight. I thought, bruh, it's a professional job. If you look at Holloway, look at all the fighters that came out of the wine area. Jesus Salud, who's my classmate, he became a world champion boxer. Look at me, I'm from Nanakula, I did sumo. I tell them whatever talent is, you gotta understand. Sometimes what you have right now is work. It's working harder and become better in what it is, because you never know. Nowadays, you can be a professional in almost anything. If you're a good artist, work on your art. So my thing is, I see so much talent out there. The people are so humbled. We have our bad apples, or who's the bad apples are, but everybody stays within their boundaries, and they don't like pilikia, so everybody just stay within their boundaries. No, no, no mind try to talk about other people, but we know who's the good and the bad in our community. It's our community. We kind of know already.
Yeah.
You know, and thanks for doing that for the kids. That's just incredible. You were one of the trailblazers, one of the early trailblazers that created that connection between Japan and Hawaii in the world of sumo. And then in 2011, when the
The
earthquake
earthquake.
hit, you went to action, and you did a major fundraiser to help the disaster areas. Were you already a star in Japan at that point? I'm assuming that you had already. I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
were
10
freaking
years ago.
rock star.
It was
You were
already
a
10 years
national
ago.
hero. And then you didn't have to do this in 2011. You didn't have to, but you did. And share that experience with us and what you did.
Well, Mel, this thing to me, now I'm put in a position where I'm in Japan and with this, and that wasn't my first experience with going out and help with trying to help, try to do what I can when I can. The 10 years ago that tsunami was huge. It was shocking to me. And I've done a place called Niigata when they had the big earthquake in Niigata. We did Kobe. We did a few down in Chiba. When 2 years, our latest one was 2 years ago. The actually not the typhoon. The one of the biggest wind typhoons hit Chiba so bad, and so I went out there. We cooked for like 600 people. Our task for Tohoku, which is the 311 tsunami, we I went for 5 years in a row. So I made like almost 40 trips, 40 maybe a little over 40 trips, maybe made like 40 something stops. I went and cooked. We cooked over 25,000 meals. Nothing connected to the government. Nothing connected to anybody. I got all my friends around the area. I call them up. They go and do research for me. They go and search where a lot of people just staying outside or the housing they have created, and we go over there and really cook. So 5 years in a row, I went out. We did barbecue, we did chanko, we did hot dog, we did crepes, we did pancakes, and we did a whole bunch of things. And the other thing I added to it was the Koni Santa program, the Koni Santa thing where I became Koni Santa Claus, and I fill out like 2 4 ton trucks, and then we went out and actually give gifts to 1,000 kids in every prefecture every year. So we did that the first week of December. And we went out and just give gifts to the kids, play with them, talk to them, play star, and then we went out to where we have other people still living not in their homes. They all live in these facilities where we went out and cooked for them, or we brought in like stuff they can use, shirts and whatever we could find, and people would donate it here in Tokyo, and I'll gather everything and I'll take it every first week of January. So we've done a lot, and I love doing that. And that's what keeps me going, and that's what keeps me working hard because I love to do work. And I tell everybody, for you to help anybody, you got to help yourself first. I make sure I'm comfortable when I'm going, and I've been so blessed to go out there, and then it just adds up. All my friends want to help, and that's a good thing because I make one phone call, one guy jump on. I make another phone call, another guy jump on, and then they're just guys jumping on, guys that actually own like 200 something supermarkets or own a whole friggin' vegetable company, or I need toothpaste or toothbrush for the kids or mouthwash, and another company, big company, Sunset, which is a big company, comes in, and I'm just glad because I'm glad I've done the legwork during my sumo career. Every time somebody needs help, I just go. I just go and help. What you need? We need this. Yeah, just can you come and be so face like, oh, easy. I go. I do a lot of charities for the foreign business community here in Tokyo too. So I'm very involved with doing charities for others. So I guess when I'm calling out for people to, I'm doing this for a certain event, people jump on it and help out. So I'm very blessed to have surrounded by a great lot of business corporate people here in Japan too. So I'm very
Mm.
lucky to be where I'm at.
Wow, amazing, amazing. Now let's talk about one thing that maybe, or the reason why you have seen Mel and I with our show. It's COVID. How is COVID and how is the Delta variant acting right now in Japan? Is it on a downturn or is it still floating out there and still getting people sick like from before? Or has it?
It's still
It's come.
floating out here, but the thing is, compared to when I see what's going on in the U.S. and in Hawaii,
Yeah.
and Japan is like Hawaii because of we're an island. They're very stricter than most of the states. So the funny thing, yesterday was the day they just opened up the restaurants again. Yesterday now, like every time they say they're going to open up, they close them down again. Like they're going to expand. They expanded this since last year, and finally people can open their restaurant up to 8, at least 9 o'clock now. They can drink sake or beer. They can sell sake, and people was like falling face front because the business that was hurting. I can say for
Mm.
myself, the entertainment world is like just locked up. I did a gig 2 days ago for a big corporate company. It was internet, so there's no crowd. So I just did a gig in the past 2 years. Never seen my band members like past 2 years. So I was like laughing to myself, bruh. I almost forgot how to play C chord on my damn ukulele. Never been freaking sing for a long time. Yeah, but it's slow. But some Japan is very conservative, man. They're going to take their time. They're going to make sure. And the good thing about it's so different because Japan at the beginning they're very clean anyway. Every time somebody get cold, they always wear a mask anyway. And I was figuring, man, Japan always watch or cautious about health and stuff. I figure it was going to be like faster. But Japan started closing down and realizing that COVID was out there later than everybody. I came home for my dad's funeral. Was February 29th last year.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was in Hawaii, I think Trump announced that there was going to close flights from China or something like that,
Right.
or were closed already. Was closed. I was like, oh my God! If I get stuck in Hawaii, the business in Japan gonna get whacked. I better get back. So me and was worried. We're gonna get stuck. We're gonna get stuck in Hawaii after my dad's funeral. But when we came back right after dad's funeral, which was the 29th, we came back like in the beginning of the March. Japan was still partying at the park, bro. Yeah, it's like Sakura. That's why Sakura
Yeah.
season,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't really start until April 15th. So like they started late. But if you think about it, Japan knew about this way before anybody because the ship that launched, they came to Yokohama the year before in December. That's why they had all the sick people on the boat, the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So they knew the COVID was already there. That's why they was keeping the people on the boat, and that's when Trump sent somebody to get all the Americans off to bring them back to the U.S. So it's slow. Tokyo it's hit the most because Tokyo people are more like always watching who's watching, kind of thing. It's a
Right.
Japanese culture. If you're doing something, they're all gonna look at you, and just by the look already, people know you're doing something. That's how sensitive Japanese people are. So in a good way, it's good, but I can see they're watching everybody else because they're kind of. I know now that people gonna be. There's a lot of people not getting the shot, but great number of people getting it. You know,
Mm-hmm. Well,
I wish I could fight like how everybody fight in the U.S. Over here, you try to fight them, I'm going to drown. I know if I'm going to try to fight and say, but I'm not going to take them, I'm not going to take them. I'm going to drown because there's no way I can fight this. We fight in the whole country. They all they don't say straight. That's the only thing. They talk in the swivel when they talk. But at the day, I watch it and I know, oh, they're already showing signs of, oh, if you don't get a certain, you're not going to be able to go this, you're not going to be able to do this. And they're making it like, okay, just shut up and tell us if you don't get them, can go, You're only making people like, you're confusing people.
well,
But
back
all Japanese are, they're not going to cause any trouble.
back in the day, both Mel and I in our police careers, I remember always when I used to do extraditions from Oahu back to Maui, and every once in a while I would have a Japanese traveler, and they always had masks, and I could never understand why. And that's why when COVID hit, I was telling Mel, I said, "Hey, they knew something back in the '80s. That's why they always wore masks. They already knew something was up."
Yeah, it's a culture. Yeah, it's just when
Yeah.
you get a cold and they got to go work. Cold is not a sickness where you're not supposed to go work. Yeah, so I get that's where it comes from. But at the same time, and exactly, I thought like they're clean, but you go to this Japanese street, no more rubbish can, no more nothing because they clean all the time. So I
Mm.
figured, they was going to go through it. But in Tokyo, they wanted to beat it to be at certain numbers. So no matter how clean they were, the government had a number that they wanted the turn to come down to. So like if you're thinking about, we have like what almost 10, 15 million people in Tokyo area alone, but they wanted to go down to like less than 1,000 people, bruh. That's 15 million people, 1,000 people. That's just not even much. But what can you say? I'm not ready to burn my ass with trying to make people realize what's what. But
Yeah.
it's funny. But it's everybody has their own problem in their countries. And Japan, one of the good things is they all talk good and they give you little points, but they don't like tell you the truth because they don't like be the one to tell you the bad news. So everybody just giving you the points. They know the community. They know the government. They know. They know everybody. The citizens of Japan know how to read their points, so they just want to get the point out. So make people think. And people here are so nice. They're not going to try to fight it. They're just going to do whatever they do to stay safe or listen to their peers. Which is a very Japanese thing.
Mm.
So where exactly do you live? You're not in Tokyo.
I am in Tokyo.
Oh, you live in Tokyo.
I live in an area where sumo is the sumo town is. I live in
Wow.
Ryogoku, which is outskirts of Roppongi, maybe about 10-15 minutes by car. And right
Wow.
down the road is Musashi Maru. He's down the road.
You guys get together.
Every time I get a chance, I get together with him. I get together with our big boss, Jesse. I call him up to say hi to him. But every
Wow.
time I tell, bruh, I call him up to tell him, bruh, let's go dinner. Oh, I don't like go out. I don't like nobody see me already. He's tired of the limelight. Every time I tell him, Jesse, I like you to come on my radio show. He goes, I don't need Charlie. Sorry, I don't like doing already. So Arlie Sim, I just call him to check on him. One of our brothers, Chad, is scared of fighting. He's way in the hospital ever since a coma. He's out of the coma, but Chad is
Wow.
really had a real bad injuries 4 or 5 years, almost 5 years ago in wrestling
Wow.
and stuff. Yeah, he's been in the hospital. I don't know if people really didn't get the news, but Chad's been in the hospital for almost 5 years now.
Chad Royan, you talking about?
Chad Warren, Akebono.
Okay, Bono. Wow, I
Um,
didn't know that. I didn't know
I
Yeah,
know
that.
he
he's
was
been there for
involved
a
in
long time.
K1. He was involved in K1, right? For a
Yeah, he
little
got
while.
into K1 and he got into professional wrestling. And when he got into professional wrestling, one of the after matches, he got like he heart stopped or something like that.
Oh,
And when I got that
geez.
phone call, I was in San Francisco when I got the phone call, and yeah, ever since then he revived, he came back, but he's still kind of paralyzed right now.
He
It
Wow.
did.
was
He,
his
Yeah.
head.
yeah.
He stopped
Sorry
breathing
to
for
hear
like
that.
30 minutes, man.
Oh, sorry to hear
Wow.
that.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that, man. That. Uh, you
Oh,
know,
it
we,
hurts
we
me
only we,
because all these guys are all younger than me. We've lost a few ex-sumo wrestlers who came after me, guys that joined sumo, who were back home and stuff. Some of our local brothers and stuff. So we're one small family, man. I used to get all the boys to go out every Sunday and make sure after every tournament, even though we come from different tournaments, different stables, we're trying to kill each other during tournaments. At the end of the day, I always make sure we all get together, have a few, and go crazy. And I was the oldest of the group, so I used to like. I knew how stressful life was because they used to fight each other in the bars and in the clubs we went to. So I kind of was like trying to, bro, you guys gotta hang in there, bro. We just all gotta. There's something for everybody. We just gotta suck it up, bro. You go home,
Mm.
there's nothing at home. Home will always be home, bro. Home will be always be home. Do something,
wow.
man. Let's keep on going and stuff. So yeah, man.
So
Wow.
we get about 10 minutes left, and I want to respect your time, but now
Don't worry
you're
about me. I
you're.
have time, bro.
I know it's Saturday over there already, right?
Yeah, in fact, when you guys called, I was rushing myself because I was marinating food. I'm cooking for like 60 people tomorrow. A private
Bro,
barbecue party. That's
I
my other
saw
talent. I cook for people
I
privately.
saw you. I saw your video last week. You'd make the short ribs,
Yeah, yeah,
or maybe it was the week before. But
yeah,
after you had cook them, you had eat them,
yeah.
and you had suck that meat right off the bone.
You got it, brother. When it comes off the
Oh
bone,
my!
when you suck it, if you bite them, then
Wow.
it's wrong. When you suck them off the bone, it's a different thing.
I'm gonna have to go put that up on my page tonight. That video, because I got so hungry, and one day me and Charlie gonna go to Japan, and
Look at
you're gonna have
this.
to cook. Look at this.
Just marinated just some of the stuff in this bucket.
Oh,
Like
Oh,
this other. So I was doing all morning. I'm actually marinating like almost 70 pounds of meat.
ooh. So so now you do all kinds of things, but I saw your video. We played the video to teaser up, and you were singing Hawaiian music. You had like an orchestra. You had horns, you had trombones, you had all these Japanese musicians, and you up there singing Hawaiian. You singing, and you had some of your videos. You got hula dancers. You got they show the crowd. They're going wild. You're like you're a national hero, not just in Japan, here in America as well. But when did that transition, and how often do you perform and entertain?
Well, music and Hawaiiana all started in Nana Ikapuno. I was part of a
Huh.
Naleo Nana Ikapuno, which is the first chorus group that my teacher, Early Tom, Mrs. Albando, taught me when I was in third grade in elementary. So I was a chanter for our group too when I was growing up. So I learned a lot of Hawaiian music, ukulele and Nana Ikapuno, the school. The music side, and then going to church, and then I played in a church band. I played different instruments in the church band, and I played in a jazz band in my high school. I played like a few instruments. I played like saxophone and trombone and trumpet and stuff. But what you see me doing here in Japan is right after my career as a sumoist, I left the Sumo Association and started my own company, which is called KP Inc. Incorporated, which is Konishki Power is the name of my company. And what I did is
Oh
Oh,
no,
oh no.
we lost them again. Yeah, the Wi-Fi, his Wi-Fi just went down. Oh, there
Oh,
he
there.
is. We don't have your audio again, sir.
Yeah, your audio went off. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm showing the Wi-Fi is down. Yeah, cannot we see you? We cannot hear you
Yeah.
all the way from Tokyo. That's a long way.
Yeah. It's gonna come back on, hopefully.
Yeah, I can see the Wi-Fi signal is really really weak out there in Tokyo. While we're waiting for him to come on, guys, www.konishki.net. Hit the translate button on top because it's in Japanese. But he also, I saw some amazing shirts and merchandise from his company that will get him to share with us the website. Konishki, you might have to exit. You might have to exit and come back in because for
Yeah.
some
Okay.
reason, there you go. Yeah, Konishki.net. Go check it out tonight. Um, but he
You
also
know,
has.
I am just so, I feel so blessed. You see this side of this person. You never see that side before. You just saw him in his sumo career, but now he gets to expose his passions, his true passion. He really is a humanitarian. I mean, on a very large scale.
me.
Because yep, you're there.
Sorry.
No,
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 it's
no,
all
no.
right.
I was just saying, I am so blessed that you came on tonight because us in Hawaii, we only see one side of you, and that's the sumo side.
Hmm.
And yet, what you revealed to everyone tonight is this larger than life humanitarian side that not many people knew about. And
Okay,
I
let me
am,
go over slowly. I've been a DJ for radio stations for 20 years. I have a I have an educational show on NHK, which is the major network here. I've been doing
right.
it for 20 years now. The kids show that I've done. I actually teaching Japanese kids how to speak Japanese, and I even cannot speak English. How do you like that? And then, like I said, I started my company. When I do what I do in my company, the biggest thing I do is self manage myself. And the other things I've done, the promotions, I've created events. The events that you see on YouTube, that channel is actually the events I created myself. I promote it, I get all the sponsors, and it actually, who's your staff? I do all the bentos, the water, I do it all by myself. And my
Wow.
company, when I started off with my company, when I retired, I had about 20 something people. Ever since 311, the tsunami, I just locked it down. I told myself, bro, somewhere in my life, I gotta just focus on my life and my wife's life. And I'm gonna do enough work just to survive, not to try to kill myself and carry everybody's else weight, So I decided to 10 years ago to break it down and just me and my wife have a secretary every time I need. So I know I get the work to go out. I hire other people to do certain stuff for events now, and that's my biggest thing. And then I started my clothes line. This is part of it. This is a sumo logo that I created 2 years ago. It's the sumo. You can see the sumo ring and then SUM and the S. Actually, the hairdo is on high rankers. They call it oicho. This hairdo, this thing is good. So like I like to design things myself, and then actually when you guys saw me marinating stuff because slow work is slow, I just renewed a kitchen where I'm going to start making bentos and stuff just to keep myself busy. And I do a lot of charities with all the foreign companies here. I do a lot of VIP sumo tours. If you look at my site, you're going to see some tours that I've done with IBM. I've done companies, Merrill Lynch, some huge companies. And so I'm very involved within the business side of the international business side because I do a lot of charities. And they always call me up. We do dinners and we do special meetings with some CEOs that I don't know. And that all my business schooling and stuff I learned from just being with people who actually run companies, and that's the best way to learn is listen to guys that already made it, and then I feel real funny every time I go to somewhere. I like sitting in a room where I look at these guys, all like CEOs from companies I know about, and then you go back and do the research, and man, these guys all billionaires are sitting at the same table and they pay me to eat dinner with them and talk about my life to them, and I'll take it. But the good thing is Japan is such a unique country that a lot of people they come and visit. Like some of the top winemakers come here, which I get invited to a lot of wine sitting dinners and stuff like that, which I don't know anything about, but I act like I know. When they invited me to Opus One, I told the guys and the Opus One president walk up to me and said, "Hey Konishki, I want you to open up the cheers. I want you to do the cheer, the toast and stuff." I go, I'm sorry, but I don't know really nothing about wine. I said, don't worry, just say whatever. So I go up there, like there's like VIPs, and there's the prince from Spain sitting in the crowd, sitting in that table. There's only 40 of us now in that restaurant. And I go up there. You can tell a good wine when it goes good with the bread. And everybody, I said something right. So stuff like that. I catch myself in positions where you never thought of, I stay a local boy, but I tell you, I sit and there's some events that I go in Musashi Maru. These two dumb white-eyed guys sitting each other just joking all the time. All these high executive people just, they're coming out there saying hi, we're shaking hands. But me and them, we're just joking, we're swearing in Samoan, we're talking, we don't even understand this 100-year whiskey costs so much. And there's a video of us just talking so we started laughing because whiskey we're drinking, this much of whiskey costs like what, $600? So it's a bottle. Imagine we drink your 600. My thinking how many people get feeding wine there, bro. So we just joke around. We try to enjoy ourselves the best way we can when we anywhere. It doesn't really matter. We still that crazy local guy that came from the beginning. So
Hey, what is your clothing line? The web I came across it. I was trying to find it today. I couldn't find it. I couldn't.
yeah,
What
you
is
only can
the?
get it in a certain because I really want to get it out there, but because I do everything myself, it's only sold in Japan. Actually, is this hat is part of it. There's the clothing line called Konishki Power. It's called Sumo Brand 52. I even came out with a barbecue sauce that came out last year, writing my book. So when everything got closed down, I told myself, "Oh my God, what do we do? Do we sit around and grumble, or we sit down and work?" I just stood around, created my own barbecue sauce, and then I went on my own last year. I did like a 47 city tour, just me and my wife. But I did it with all my friends that own companies. I made them. I just made them host a party because we couldn't do events. So I thought just host your own, bring your friends or your clients, and don't tell them that I will be out of cooking. And all I want you guys to do is buy my sauce. So within 6 months, me and my wife we sold 12,000 pieces on the road, bro. Talk about the hustle, bro. And December 10th, I still remember, was my last gig. I told my wife, finally we're done for this year. Boom. When I said that, an hour later, I was in the hospital, bro, getting IV. Man,
You
it
were
was crazy last year.
dehydrated. You got dehydrated.
Dehydrated and to the
Yeah.
max. But funny, he's so hyper and he's so out there. You want to make sure you gotta get it done, man. My mind was so focused that we're gonna get it done no matter what, man. But I'm glad I did it because it's kind of kept me on float right now since coming into this year.
Mm.
Wow. Wow, you're an incredible guy. I am just so thankful that you agreed to come on. I got to ask you, how did you find the Mel and Charlie show? When I saw your name pop up, I was like, wow. How did you find the show?
I've been watching. I've been watching way before my pop up my name. But when I pop up my name, I know when you notice you're gonna say something. So when you pop up, I'm glad you noticed. I did Andy Bumatai's show. I did a few other shows too. Because I always try to watch. I try to get my news from the source, and your guys part of the source. I don't like watch news too much. I rather listen to local guys getting the news, from their bedroom and stuff and like that, and try to figure out how to work the internet. Because I see all you guys went through the same problem. Andy Bumata, you went through the same problem, trying to figure out how to run these computers. Hey,
Oh,
bro, we
wow.
at that age, bro. We're not that young. We have to figure out all this new technology and stuff. So
I tell you.
I
And
was watching
sometimes
you guys
some
trying to figure out how to put Facebook and all the ones and your internet and the stream together. I was like watching all the time.
wow. Yeah,
And
I told
and
Charlie I
at
don't
the
know how to.
beginning, you was kind of hyper and you was mad all the time. You was like pissed off every time he came on. I look at him, oh, bro, these guys got some serious stuff to say. So I would just sit there and watch you, and then and then pick up on other people's sources and just listen and try to figure out where I should be standing with it, what I think about what's going on, because I'm seeing Hawaii from the outside and stuff, which is a great thing to have, yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
So,
like I said, you
so
guys the source. I rather listen to some local brothers who actually talking street level, you know what I mean? Because you guys actually, you are the voices of a lot of local people. That's why a lot of local people watch you guys. You watching the
wow.
news is like it's corporate, so you never know exactly what you should believe or not. So news
Yeah.
itself as a whole in the US or even in Japan, people don't trust anymore. I just don't trust it anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
That's the challenge. That's
that's
the
an
challenge that
honor.
we have.
It's a
Uh,
huge challenge all the time.
Well, I think Mel, it's an honor what he just said. Basically, Sally just said that I am very calm most of the time, and I thank you for saying that. Did he say
well,
that?
Charlie. I will send you, Mr. Konishki, the outtakes, the stuff that doesn't go live, and then you be the judge.
Oh,
I'm the
see.
calm one.
Okay.
I'm the
Yeah, so
flow.
you the Portuguese, you're the one who always have to catch yourself going live, eh? No, Charlie's still hiding in the back. You going live, we're all pissed off already. Charlie did all his dirty work before he came on site, right?
There you go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what he doesn't know is this software here that I'm using now records everything, even before we go live. So I pull the outtakes. I should just do a clip. I should put all the Charlie clips together.
Oh, you're gonna do the sneak attack at you.
The sneak attack. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
cool, but like I said, I was watching earlier when you just started, and just when Corvette was really getting to a place where people was going crazy, and I see you pulling out information and data, and you have doctors coming on, guys that have sources, real sources to this Corvette. Corvette is not a normal thing. The crisis of Corvette is one thing, but like you guys people been talking about the choice, which is something
Mhm.
that America is built on. It's if you just keep it simple, it's simple. You either have a choice to do it or not. If they're trying to make a decision for you, so what? If my mom is actually suffering from something, can I kill her because I don't want her to suffer? I don't see my mom struggling every day, trying to choke herself because it's been painful. But we gotta sit there and watch her die until she dies, which we don't know. I rather go out and kill my mom because I cannot see her suffer every day. Is that against the law? Yes, it is, right? So, like,
Yes, it
if
is.
you think about it, they're only using one Corvette, but you got to look everything else that we go through. And ever since Corvette, I hear nothing but Corvette. Is there no other sickness that people who has that get passed away? Even in Japan, I get curious because is there other sickness that people are passing with, or is it just Corvette? I don't hear
Yeah.
nothing. I thought people used to die from cancer and all the other things, but it seems like there's only Corvette and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not
Yeah.
cool. It's like it's simple, man. give the people their opportunity to pick what they want to do, the choice they make. Because at the end of the day, they're paying their own bills.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
there's something I've always said, Sally, and that is, I said, we bring the information on. If it's not for you, then you wait for the next episode, and if it
Exactly.
works, then it works. But the thing
Yeah.
is, the only thing I leave people with is one thing: if the experts we brought on doesn't convince you enough, that's fine, okay. But just try keep yourself safe no matter what, because at the
Exactly.
end of the day, you get tagged by this thing and you think you're gonna outrun it. It's not gonna happen. It's proven
Yeah.
itself too many times. It's gonna drag you down. It's gonna
Yep.
drag you down.
We all
Just
gotta
be
be
safe.
careful in everything we do, and it starts not only with its core, it starts when I'm a big person, and I'm always curious with how big and how healthy and not healthy I am with the body I have. I used to almost be 700 pounds. I'm
Mhm.
down, and I'm still worried about my life. But I'm not sick. I don't have diabetic. I don't have high blood pressure. I go doing my checkups. I'm not on any medication. But at the same time, I'm scared because when you're telling, oh, big guys get COVID easy, I knew that. But there's choices that I have to make right now that's going to save my family with the choices I do. If I just sit around and something happens, I didn't even give myself an opportunity to try to save my family with the time. So
Right,
everybody has their own kuleana on how to go about it. It's not that the shot's going to work or not. It's just the situation. I'd rather die trying and working my ass off and trying to get myself save my family in certain areas that I can than try to sit and wait and get caught in something that I couldn't do nothing. So it's the choice. It's the way you look at your choice. There's no wrong choice to the way I look at it. Every choice is a good choice as long as you believe it's your choice.
right.
bingo. And I think that's Charlie and I have been saying that for a long time. We believe. I mean, I believe that the vaccine gives you a damn good chance if you get the virus, but that's up to you.
Yeah. At the
I
end of the
mean,
day, nobody's saying the virus is bad. It's bad. It's really up to you, man. At the end of the day, if you take it and you get it, you get it. If you don't take it and you get it, it's you again.
yeah.
Just let that person, if he wants to suffer, you can, but don't blame anybody else. Like the way I came to sumo, the reason why I stand on what I say is because I made the choice to come to Japan at 18 years old, and I went through a lot of stuff that I knew that I had to go through to get where I'm at. But I didn't try to go against anybody's decisions or take somebody's advice. I took what I think was right. And then I wouldn't now go and change everything the way I live my life now because of something that somebody said and they're trying to drill you. It's really up to you. If you take it, you take it. You don't. But we all have our challenges, and certain times you just cannot. You want to, but there's a situation where you cannot really put yourself in that situation where everybody wants you to be at because it doesn't fit the situation you're in or the environment you're in.
Right.
So it's all cool. God bless to America. God bless especially to the state of Hawaii, man. But we all family, man. Ohana. The one thing I see, whatever happens, every time everybody's very protective of the island, which is a great thing. Protective of our kupunas, which is how we brought up, which is our ohanas. And that's why a lot of our people are against certain things because of the ohana, which is very true. We all love our families, you know.
Mhm.
But everybody has different situations right now in your life environment, or you in a certain time in your life, you have to make certain decisions that will help you in the next 5 years or 10 years, no matter what. So I'm just looking at like 10 years within my life. I'm gonna be 60. Like we all getting the 60 area. I want to see myself in a good situation in like 10 years, like Genki enough to go and trip with Charlie and Mel in Hawaii or something. You know what I mean?
You got
Well, hang on, because
it. Oh,
I gotta tell you, once this COVID gets to a point where we can get back together, Charlie is putting on this huge concert, free concert for all of our fans and our viewers and our guests. And we would love to have you as our guest and come up and sing a couple songs. And this is something that Charlie has been talking about for a long time. And we're
Sounds
gonna put
good.
on we're gonna put on something, Konishki, like you have never seen. And well, I shouldn't say that because you've seen a hell of a lot.
Hmm.
But we talked about this the other night that we were gonna have a sumo tournament, you and Uncle Charlie, and
He
then we
talked
were going.
about it.
No, all the viewers.
Just
We
make
started to.
sure the G string is red, huh?
Yeah, 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 yeah. We had our we had our we we had our viewers pick names, and we all agreed that Charlie's name, Sumo Tori name, gonna be Ichiku, and yeah, and we're gonna set up the ring at this is it's gonna be we're gonna have thousands of people there, and uh, it's gonna be fun. And just go easy on him, go easy on him because I don't know if uh, he's ever been in a sumo match, but I think it's gonna be fun, and we'll do it.
Charlie,
You know, we'll do it for
what
charity.
Mel doesn't understand is when we do our thing, he gonna stand right between us when we go for it.
How long as we're not facing our back to him because we're gonna be crushing him with our collars.
Oh, you know,
Smack attack.
hey, that's a good T-shirt. That's a good T-shirt. Charlie, Konishki, and Mel right in the middle. Smack attack. I love that. I
Yeah,
love that.
that's a good
I
one.
love it. Oh gosh. Damn it! I just lost my train of thought. Son of a gun. Anyway, yeah. So that's gonna happen as soon as we get to a point where we can actually get together
A
again.
lot of great things is waiting for us. People are just ready to pop after this Corvette thing, man.
Oh
I'm ready
yeah.
to pop myself, man. I'm just preparing myself. Well, next year is a big year for me because it's going to be 40 years in Japan. And
Wow.
I've planned a huge event, one huge event. Then I have a lot of small kind of event all over Japan in the planning today and stuff. So coming out with the book next year, finally a book that I really put my heart in it and talk about some of the things we talked about. You know how to get an 18-year-old to focus on what he's heading for and stuff like a lot of things going on. So next year's a big year for me, 40 years, and then you probably that's what me and Charlie can do the sumo for, and then you can be the referee,
I'll
so
be
we
the
can attack
referee.
you.
Oh God. Oh man, yeah, that'd be awesome. That's gonna be so cool. And definitely when you get that book out, we'd love to have you on. But I just don't know how to thank you, man. This has been an awesome night. I really wanna somehow package you up and get you in front of as many of our kids as possible because so many
Let's
of
do
our
it. You put
kids.
it together. I just did one for a school. Kamehameha school. They had a program. They put a whole big thing with it. Everybody could watch, and they whenever you're ready, let me know, bro.
Wow,
You can
wow,
put
we
it
will do
together
that.
and have
A
somebody
lot of
help you to actually connect you to like some schools where they can all watch it in their with the computers, and all you need is kind of do the promotions about a month out and let people, all the schools or the teachers know or the faculty know, that let the kids know where to go to see that, and you can get other people too on the panel, and we can talk and encourage and talk about the experiences that they might go through and stuff that they should know to expect when they go out there in the real world, you know.
Hmm.
Wow, yeah, we every place has their Y&I. Kauai has their Y&I. Every island has that the west side or whatever part it is, and so many of our kids get lost. And I'll tell you, there are no more role models. There are no, you talked about the NFL, the NBA, all of these guys. They're not role models, man. They're out there. There's a few. Don't get me wrong. There are some very good role models in professional sports here in America, but your 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 comments tonight is exactly what our kids need to hear. It's exactly what our local kids here who do not believe in themselves enough that they can go out and make something of themselves. And that's I think what we got to really focus on going forward.
Well, I think now
Really.
the biggest problem, I think, Brother Charlie would probably agree with this too, is because the family is broken up now, you know,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
basically the education that we learn in school is second tense compared to what we can learn at home.
Yeah.
So us to build our communities, we have to help the families that are having trouble raising their kids. You know, in Nanakuli Wainai, we grew up, and we all know this. We probably experienced because of our age. We all understand that even if it wasn't your parents, if an uncle or an auntie was there and you making noise, you're acting stupid, they would scold you. So people now they're so afraid to do that because you don't know how kids snap back to you. But basically, that's the reason that we have lost it because it's not taught in the house. You
Hmm.
know, respect your elders. You know, when you with a boss and when girls standing up and you sitting down, make the girl sit down. Respected our women, our ladies, our moms. Our moms are our queens. We talk about our moms as queens, but in real life, a lot of people don't take advantage of that, and they don't walk the talk.
Mhm.
So it's very important. I've been trying to do an NPO here too, to combine Board of Education and with the government and with companies here, so we can kind of create an internship where we can start getting kids learning business with real companies early on, so they can see. Because some of these kids are good with their hands, they're not too much into schooling. So if they can learn some kind of skill while they're in junior high school and work their way up internship, and then by the time they're seniors in high school, they can work at regular workers and get paid as a regular worker. I think, but the schools, that Board of Education has to work with the government to give the families the opportunities to find ways to connect all this. You don't know. You need to go no further than your communities. There's enough small businesses to actually intern a lot of kids who have opportunity. We just don't know. If you don't give a kid and try something within your community, even if a shopping bag, when you're shopping and bagging stuff, it's work at the beginning. It's learning. Because once you get paid, you're gonna know you're gonna get paid for bagging, and when you come a cashier, you're getting paid for a cashier. You see the difference because you use your head more. The more you use your head, the more money you're gonna get. But if you can see it in real time, kids learn from that. Money is the easiest way to teach kids how to educate themselves in a workforce. To me, I see. Because you see the kids, everybody all hooked up on TV now. YouTube, they watch TV. All these guys. I thought the kids, bro, you know what? Some of those guys, rap guys, they only way ought to go, but that's all fake, or they're writing them just for some not real. So you tell yourself, you like buy your real gold with real money, or you like fake? Or you like just go random just whatever you like real, right? So
Hmm.
you gotta get a job that can afford that. And how you get a job? You gotta make sure you have the right education to have a job like that. I thought you like driving a broken car, you like drive Mercedes Benz. Well, I like driving Mercedes Benz. Well, Mercedes Benz gonna cost a lot. So if you're not gonna buy a Mercedes Benz, going and shopping bag and putting food inside there. It's a start. You can start there, but you don't have to end up there. Become a manager of the store. And then create your own store. There's so much opportunity. We just have to give the kids a way and give them confidence and give them a way. Somebody just open up a door for them. Because the kids now, to be honest with you, they got more technology smarts than I do. Because I'm still trying to figure out what is iPhone and yet. But
Hey,
they can't beat me because I can work my ass off. I'm not afraid to try. That's the biggest difference. I'm gonna do anything I try. I can to do everything I get an opportunity to do.
and like you said, everything that you do it the best you can, and I think
You
that is
have
where
to.
our kids. Yeah,
People won't watch you. You think people not watching what you do? All your little moves, somebody's always watching, no matter what. And you're going
Konishki-san,
to be graded by what you do.
check the comment. I cannot read that stuff, man. What does that comment say?
私
It's
も子供たち大ファンでね、いつも応援してます。From little kid time, and a lot of their friends, they were big fans of mine, and they
wow,
always cheering for me.
wow.
Wow.
Natsuko Kame York.
Yeah.
Yeah,
ありがとう。どうもありがとう。
there you go. See, guys. Hey, all of our viewers, if you can write in Japanese, go for it. I'll put them up on the screen. I actually thought it was saying that, hey, Konishiki, you should bring Mel and Charlie to Japan and take them on tour with you for 1 year. That's what I thought that Japanese words were saying. But
No, when this time goes down, when they can invite you guys, I'm more than happy to host you guys at a sumo match, and if everything is open, take you guys down to sumo state to really see what's the backside.
Oof.
I've
My,
done
my
that for a good friend on the Big Island
Hmm.
who passed away, man.
my inner thighs hurt right now just from you describing the squats, the splits. My inner thighs never move yet, but it's hurting. It's
You
hurting.
should do it, bro. You just do it. Do about 10 a day. It's a good exercise. People, it's a real good exercise.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
ありがとうございます。よろしくお願いします。はい。はい、どうも。Hey.
They sound angry. They sound
No, they're
angry.
walking in. I just moved to my office right now. This
Oh,
is the
okay.
new office. We just moved this past month. So we have few people sending flowers. This lady just came and give money, gift and stuff. I should just put a big box out there, put more money. I guess they're smelling my barbecue, so they
Oh
smell it
boy.
already. Mm.
Oh
Wow.
well.
Oh man, I
Casa
gotta
Ole.
tell you.
Like, coach. Yeah, man, I enjoy this time, man. It's been cool, man. I like talking
Oh,
to our local brothers, and I had a great conversation with Andy Bumatai too, and a few other guys who did the show. Then people been, I've been doing like zooming like so crazy. I did some from Italy, Spain. In fact, we just came out with a documentary on Locked In TV called The Giants. It came out July 22nd, and it was like the best content in their sporting category, the best content of the whole Locked In TV. Talks about me, Chad, Akibono, and Musashimoto and Jesse. I came home this early this year, January. We they flew all the way in from New York to the directors came in. We filmed in Hawaii when I came home this past January.
wow. Wow, man. I don't know what to tell you, buddy, except thank you. I am freaking honored.
Thank you for
Like I
having me,
said,
bro. We all
um,
same generation, so we kind of see things the same. People might say we too old, but shit, bro, we came through a lot of. Sorry for that, but it's just natural.
that's the one thing
Yeah, we
about
came.
this
We
show.
were on the
This
same age.
show.
Okay, we came up differently, and we saw the struggle that our parents had to go through to get us where we at. So we understand struggle, and the only reason why our younger generation is getting better things because we don't want them to get that, but we want them to take advantage of opportunities to even get better, so they can pass it down to the next generation. You know.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
life is good, man. God is good all the time.
All the time. All the time.
Yeah.
Well, my friend, thank you so much. I appreciate you hanging out with us a little longer than we said we would, but
I'm
man, this
easy.
is a blessing. This is a blessing, guys. Charlie.
Well, first I'd like to say thank you so much to Hawaii own, but sometimes when we have to say aloha to one of our own who now calls Japan his home as well, it's just an honor and a pleasure to have you on with us tonight. You know what really touched me was the fact that you addressed what needs to be done for our children. Because I've always said this from before that our kiki are our future. If we
It
can't turn
is.
them around now, then is there really a future for them? And I hope and pray that we can get them back on the right track. And you hit the nail on the head when you said that we got to start working with the families because the children will react to families real well. And if we get them on the right track, and I hope one day we can form this partnership and go out and do it because we need that. We need that. So I'd like to thank you very, very much for sharing that with us tonight. And to our family and friends who joined us before I end my time here, please keep Akibono in your prayers
Yes,
because
sir.
it was unbeknownst to me that he was hospitalized for the last 5 years. And I believe in the power of prayer. And he fought his way up until this point,
Yes,
but
sir.
he still needs much more prayers. And to we didn't cover COVID because we wanted something on a lighter note. And what better way to do it, ending our week, than with Hawaii's own Konishki, Saleva'a Atisano'e. And he mentioned a name that he and I are very good friends, and that's Analu Aina, because the Aminas from the West Side
Yep, yep.
to fellowship, even with Pastor Kila,
Yes,
Ben
sir.
Baker, and all of them. I used to be with the, the Door of
My
Faith,
dad used to
all of
go
that.
Kila's church all the time.
Yeah. So,
Mm.
we like to say aloha to all of them as well. But, for the most part, folks, keep on fighting. We've come this far. COVID, we got it on the run. Let's be smart about it. And again, you all have choices that you can make. But tonight was a lighter night, and I'm so glad that we had our guest on with us tonight because he gave you an insight of what it was like and what it is like for a local boy at the age of 18 to make his way to Japan and successfully be where he's at today with his loving wife. And they're continuing to do, really, I call it God's work. And they're a true inspiration. So thank you very, very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Mel,
Thank you.
thank you. Mel?
Well, what can I say? First of all, thank you for following our show. Thank you for agreeing to come on the show. I know I kind of put you on the spot when I asked you live. When you responded and
Easy.
say, "Let's do it, brother," I was like, "Oh shit, now what?" Now, oh my god.
Th- That's how
But
the
yeah,
Portuguese do it, bro. It's the only way to do it,
just
bro.
hey, you cannot if
Close
you
your
don't
eyes,
ask, you're
my
not gonna
brother.
get right.
Exactly. That's it.
But my God, this is way more than I expected. We grew up. I shouldn't say grew up because we're the same age, but we grew up watching you just become a freaking national hero in multiple countries. And to have you on the Mel and Charlie show, I gotta tell you, man, I'm freaking starstruck. I am, and it's just then to hear your story and to hear your motivation and your yeah, some of the things you said tonight struck me really hard, man. And when you see me going onto the full screen, it's because I'm either getting emotional or, because you hit so many. I think tonight you hit so many people in the heart by what you've done in your life and what you continue to do. Um, I so appreciative. I know I remember texting Charlie and said, "Brah, Konishki coming on the show." I was like, "Wow!" So we appreciate you. We appreciate what you do, and
Thank you.
looking forward to the next opportunity we can chat and talk
Yes,
story.
sir.
Send our love to your wife and your ohana up there in Japan. And again, like as Charlie said, we're praying for everybody tonight, Akibono, and everyone else that's suffering for whatever reason, guys. Before you put your head on a pillow tonight, ask God to bless everyone. And we'll get through this sooner than later. You guys have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday night. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Koniski,
Yeah.
love you, man. You take
Let
care,
me
buddy.
finish up with these three letters, the triple C. Is I tell this to a lot of kids when I always end up with this. Like, I want you guys to to really look into this triple C. It means there's a three C's. It's not triple C in the prison that you guys all know, but the triple C I'm talking about is the courage to commit and conquer. First, you have to have courage to commit yourself to stuff, any stuff you do, like losing weight or gaining weight or looking for a goal. If you don't have the courage to commit yourself, then that's where it all starts. So you have to have the courage to actually commit yourself first. Once you get committed, most of the time you're going to conquer whatever is in front of you. And that's what I mean about the triple C. So I want all you guys out there listening tonight. I'm glad for Mel and Charlie having me on their show. I'm very blessed to even be a local boy, being in the position I am because I'm a local boy. And I believe very much to the encouragement of the way I was brought up through my family and brought up by my community and brought up by my state 808 Hawaii. It's made me who I am today. It's not just one person, one part of my life. Entire life of I have today is because of many parts that relates to me. Mel and Charlie, we're not related by blood, but all the stuff you guys say and the things you do, being a policeman, being part of the community, that's all part of what makes people grow. Which is I'm talking about. Our community needs to help all families, and that's the end of that's the most important thing to me. So whatever we do today, you have the courage enough. If you have the courage to commit yourself to something, I'm pretty sure you're going to conquer whatever is in front of you. So don't be afraid to fall because you always can stand up. And that's the thing I always talk to my kids, Konishki Kid Foundation. Tell them, walk and fall. Then you're going to find out. If you screw up once, if you're smart enough, you're not going to screw up again. You're not going to make the same mistake. And nothing I'm saying is new. But all I know is if we all can follow this and encourage yourself and have people encourage you, we can encourage other people to commit to something and be strong about it. I'm pretty sure they're all going to conquer. So thank you again. I am a proud local boy from Hawaii, and I love to represent what I do too because I'm from Hawaii. And I hope you guys, wherever you are out there, young, old, when you walk off the island or you go outside of the island, always remember you carry the heart of the island with you. And that's the way it puts you in a position where you don't have to screw up because if you screw up, you screw up the island. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. You screw up the island and your family. So important to me to understand that. So again, Mel, Charlie, thank you for the time.
Woo.
And aloha mahala and ahui ho.
Oh,
Ahoy ho!